Four on the floor, brought to you by Citywide Banks. 4 questions, 30 seconds each. When you hear the bell, you're supposed to keep quiet, but we never are. Number 1, is the Texas Rangers third baseman Adrian Beltre a Hall of Famer? And by the way, I should tell you, he hit for the cycle for the 3rd time in his career last night.
How many guys have done that? They're a big timer?
Since all together, if you count pre-1900, 5 people altogether have hit for 3.
4 in modern baseball history. Right. He's one of 4. I think he'll get major consideration. I'm a voter. I would have to spend more time thinking about it. I don't have all the numbers. I don't have, but he's been an MVP, hasn't he?
No.
Oh. I'd have to see his numbers. I don't have them.
I can tell you
don't
some.
have them in the book?
I can tell you he's only 303 hits away from 3,000.
That's a good number.
He has over 400 home runs. He's made 4 All-Star appearances. He's been in the top 10 in voting for MVP 4 times. He's got 4 Gold Gloves. He has the stats.
Good defensive player.
Great defensive player. He has the stats to not just be considered.
Who deserves?
I think Adrian Beltre belongs in the Hall of Fame. I think, if I remember correctly, I think he is ranked 5th all time for third baseman in home runs, RBIs, and average.
Yeah, well, you win that one because I don't. Would you rather put him or Todd Helton in if you had a choice of the 2? One of them's your friend, so.
Well, I think Adrian Beltre has a better case.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Number 2.
Number 2, Mike Hessman sets the minor league home run record. 344 home runs he's got in a minor league uniform. You impressed with that?
Absolutely. I think this is an incredible accomplishment.
Really?
Because he hung in there. He did it. He was drafted by the Braves in 1996. Do you know how long he's played minor league baseball? 20 years.
He's 37 years old.
He's gotten 119 cups of coffee.
That's how many games he's played in the majors.
He's only hit 188, so he's one of those guys who's a tweener. He's too good for AAA and not good enough. And he is going to be, you're going to like this reference, he's the best player, he's the best guy to ever wear a Toledo Mud Hens cap since Corporal Klinger.
I guess I have to be impressed. I guess I have to be impressed. Of course,
yeah,
smash.
Okay. Yeah.
I have to be impressed because, well, first of all, it's hard to hit a home run. Second of all, when you're hitting a lot of those home runs, and he hit a lot of them in AAA, you're going against major league pitching essentially. Most guys who are at AAA eventually make it to the majors or have made it to the majors and were sent back down for one reason or another. Usually they couldn't find the plate with their pitches. So he's hit against very good pitchers throughout his career. Guys who throw between 90 and 95, guys who have good breaking balls.
So we're both
to a point.
impressed.
I'm impressed to a point.
Do you know what his job is in the off season?
I don't.
He parks cars as a valet parker.
Really? Will you watch John Gray pitch tonight for the Colorado Rockies?
Of course I will. Let's get right into it. Yes, I'll watch him. We've been waiting. We've been waiting.
The Messiah is here.
Yeah, I was going to say, it is like a lot of people have been waiting.
Yeah.
We've been waiting. We want to see him.
Do you think people have been waiting here the same way in Washington they were waiting for Strasburg?
No.
I don't think so either.
No.
Or Fernandez in Miami?
No.
That's what I'm worried about. We've heard about this guy for 2 years running now since the Rockies drafted him. And everybody's making everybody's making a big deal about it. And I'm just not, I'm not thinking, okay, this is the guy, this is the Messiah, this is Steven Strasburg for the Colorado Rockies. I'm not thinking that way at all.
I'm ready to see him. And I don't want to hear this garbage, and I told you earlier, I don't want to hear this garbage about, we got to trust them that they're developing and everything, draft and develop. We've seen so many garbage pictures.
I don't trust yet, Woody, but it is a new regime. It is a new general manager. I'm going to allow them to show me.
And they're all the people that drafted this guy.
I'm going to allow them to show me.
There's not a difference in anybody that drafted this guy. The same guy as general manager was part of the process.
Maybe they'll develop the pitching differently. Last question. Sacramento Kings hired Nancy Lieberman, another assistant female coach in the female assistant coach in the NBA. Do you think this was George Karl's idea? He's the head coach of the Kings. Or do you think this came from somebody else?
Yeah, I believe it's George Karl's idea.
Really?
Who was the first guy to do it?
Popovich in San Antonio.
Who does George Karl want to be like in life?
Does he? Is that his...
He always said that.
Really?
He has more respect for George Popovich than even Larry Brown or Doug Moe, and those were his mentors. Oh yeah, he loves Popovich. I think because Popovich opened the door, he is now joining it. Nancy Lieberman has accomplished more in women's basketball than anybody else.
I'm not convinced that George would have made this move. You know who I think it comes from?
Well, guess what?
They've got a bit of a carnival barker for an owner, and I think this was more his doing than it was George Karl's. George is trying to put back the old gang together. He's bringing back Chad Iskey, who was his assistant here, John Welch, who was his assistant here, Anthony Carter, he's hired, former Nugget, who played for him here.
I hope he got rid of that lime green Hummer. Did you ever see that?
I did. I'm not so sure this was George's idea. I'd love to have George right here and say,
well, we will. He's around.
Well, we'll see him.
We'll see him.
Yeah.
You could ask him.
All right, what are we doing now?
Pick six.
Pick six? Well, actually, I should tell everybody first that Four on the Floor was brought to you by Citywide Banks.
That'd be a good idea.
Family-owned, Colorado-focused business bank. They have 12 locations across Denver and Boulder. They've got a lot of services your business could use, and they support a lot of charities around Colorado. So do your banking where we do our banking here, Citywide Bank.